Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. If you're wondering, why is the rabbi here at L'Dor Va-Dor? Usually he's doing this from his home. This is Shabbat Shuvah. Shuvah means return. So I've returned to L'Dor Va-Dor. Some people think that Shabbat Shuvah is called Sabbath of Return because you buy a beautiful outfit for the high holidays and then you return it the next day. Other people think that you call it Shabbat Shuvah because you've gone to temple all these times and now you're going to go back and return again. Actually, Shuvah means a return to our better selves. Before we allowed cynicism and xenophobia and intolerance to take over, before we allowed ourselves to get into imbroglios with other people because of their political views, when we were at peace, return to a peaceful state. That's what we're all about. So in this Shabbat Shuvah, surrounded by the high holidays on either side of us, let us return to a state of serenity and of joy and peacefulness. To help us accomplish this, we have wonderful sponsors, Rabbi Martin the Soul and Linda Silva, who do so much for our congregation. I just have to say that they inspire me and they help me. We talk about a lot of things about L'Dor Va-Dor because we're building the Judaism of tomorrow. I can't do it myself, and I need people with a lot of good ideas, and they really have them. And if you'd like to get involved, we're really interested in hearing what you have to say. Take after them. Let them serve as a role model for everybody to get involved in shaping this new approach to Judaism. Also, they're going to be doing the Kiddush for us. I also wanted to thank Suzanne Burstein. She's going to be leading us in the candle lighting. She is a source of enlightenment for so many people, and she helps to spread the word of L'Dor Va-Dor through social media and the website. We thank her for all of the things that she does for our congregation. Let the Shabbat begin. When we blow the shofar, we start out with one pure note. And then afterwards we have teruah and shavarim, which is broken up. Sounds kind of like a kvetch, like it's painful. And then we return to purity even greater than before with a long blast of the shofar and a beautiful, long, pure sound. Shabbat Shuvah, Sabbath of Return, reminds us that we believe our souls are pure and we have the capacity, if we go through this process diligently, to restore the purity of our souls.
Shabbat Shalom! These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames purify and renew, soften and refine. They brighten and make warm. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past, and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'halik ner Shel Shabbat V'Yom Tov. Miss y'all.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and Lashana Tova.
Please join us for the Kiddush over the wine.
The beginning of Shabbat is marked by reciting a benediction sanctifying the day. Kiddush, which means sanctification, is the prayer recited over the wine through which Jews proclaim the uniqueness of Shabbat. Sweet wine has long been used to make Shabbat just a little sweeter.
Everyone join us for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat kadsho v'yahava v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh b'reishi ki hu yom techila v'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim. Everybody join in. Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kadshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Shabbat Shalom,
Shalom,
everybody.
everyone.
And Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova.
When life began, sometime before all knowing, it's growing strong inside of me. Come take my hand and join me in where I'm going. Together we'll find our destiny. Warm, glowing bright, Sabbath flames, spreading light on Friday night. Join with me, Sweet Sabbath Wine makes the simcha seem so good.
So good, so good, so good.
I'm inclined as a Jew to spread peace and brotherhood. It's always a pleasure to be here on Shabbat, and I thank Sharon Leibovitz for allowing one of my songs to be used, Sweet Sabbath Wine. It's an old version of it. We're going to update it, but I really appreciate that. It's one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed it too. My father used to sing, and my mother was the choir director. And he used to joke around because he wasn't a professional singer. I liked the way he sang. But my mom, who's a Juilliard graduate, she had slightly different standards. And he used to joke and he said, "My wife told me that if I sing, she quits." And he needed the choir director, so he didn't sing too often. But with me, Sharon and the team has lowered their standards a little bit, and I appreciate that. Next, we're going to have some introductions to the prayers. I'm going to introduce all of them. We got the Shema, the Baruch Hu, the Michamocha, a lot of prayers we have. And they're really celebrating this powerful force that we call in English very often God. Our ancestors had many words for it, but in Hebrew they have a very little word that explains this immense concept called Yah. Yah. The full form of it in the Torah is Yud He Vav He, called the Tetragrammaton for 4 letters. And it's also short for Yahweh. Yah, or Yahweh, is very interesting. It's actually composed of all vowels. And the reason for that is perhaps because it's harmonious, it's peaceful, it's like a breath, it's like breathing. And if you think about it, God is the breath of life. I mean that quite literally, because the way the universe started, the Big Bang was a huge expansion and then a contraction as galaxies formed, and then in the galaxies, stars formed, and then there was a contraction to form planets, and then on the planets, contraction in order to form living things. Expansion, contraction. And guess what? That happens in our bodies. It's called breathing. The circulation of our blood is expansion, contraction. It actually returns us to the beginning on this Shabbat Shuvah. Our bodies recapitulate what happened in the very beginning. And so creation is happening through us 20,000 times a day with a case of breathing. And so we're going to celebrate these wonderful prayers that remind us of the miracle of life in the cosmos, and also the miracle that we reproduce and be able to return to the very beginning of the universe, which we celebrate with these blessings.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam avayed.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei HaKol, Ve'zocher Chastei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevi Geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo ve'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, ve'ezrat Sarah.
We now have the silent meditation on Shabbat Shuvah. This is probably the mother of all silent meditations. This is such an important event for us to engage in introspection. And before we do, I'd like to share a little story with you. There was a family once who came to a new town, and the man was standing at the gate, and he welcomed them in, and one of the family members said, "Tell me something. How are the people here in this town? Are they friendly?" He said, "Well, how were they at your town that you're leaving?" He said, "Oh, those people there were miserable. They were mean-spirited and just horrible. I'm so glad to get out." So he said, "Well, you're going to find the people the same way here." A little while later, next day, another family comes by, and again they inquired, "What are the people like in this town?" He said, "What were they like where you were?" He said, "Oh, they were beautiful, wonderful, friendly people." He said, "You know what? You're going to find the same thing here." What it's trying to tell us, this little story, is that we create our own relationships, whether they're positive or negative. The point of Shabbat Shuvah is to take responsibility for ourselves. Instead of blaming other people for what's going on in our life and the negativity. Realize that we have the ability to control how we act and how people respond to us. Let us take a moment in this silent meditation to see maybe we could be a little friendlier to other people, not only to make their day brighter, but to create an entirely new relationship for us with the rest of the world. Let us engage now in a few moments of silent meditation on this Shabbat Shuvah.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. u'devar Adonai mirushalayim. It's nice to be back here at the structure, the building of L'Dor Va-Dor, and to sing these songs. And one advantage I have of being here and taping in this way is that I don't have my ritual chair here. I don't have anybody here telling me what I can and cannot do. Therefore, I am going to sing one of my own songs because nobody could tell me not to, because I think the original traditional song we do is good, but I kind of like this one too, and see if you can tell me where it comes from. I'm just going to do one verse, and then when we're back in action, we'll do more and we'll have professional singers singing it. If you would read the Torah, what a tale its words would tell about the old-time heroes in the land of Israel. And when the world grows dark, they provide the spark to help the blind to see our shared humanity. And we know when things go wrong, we must stay strong in our search for harmony. Now the reading of the Torah. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach. Baruch Adonai hamavarach leolam vahed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. We are reading now from the end of the Torah. As you can tell, this side is very thin and this side is thicker. We're getting to the very end, and we're reading from a passage of Deuteronomy called Ha'azinu. There's a little song here. In fact, the Torah is written in verses in different columns because Moses is said to have sung this song, and at the conclusion, it says, Vayavo Moshe vayidaber et kol divrei hashira hazot be'oznei ha'am. And Moses came forward and sang all of these words in the ears of the people. Hu v'Hoshea ben Nun v'yachal Moshe ledaber et kol hadvarim ha'eleh. He and Hoshea ben Nun. Hoshea ben Nun is an alternate name for one that's more familiar to Yehoshua ben Nun, Joshua ben Nun. He had different names in the Torah, kind of like today, many Jews adopt a new name. And so I guess Joshua set that trend long ago. It also says that Moses spoke in the ears of all the Jewish people. Considering that the Torah claims there were about 600,000 people, either he had a very loud voice or he had a really good PA system that the Torah neglected to mention. We continue with the reading of the Torah as follows. Vayachal Moshe lidaber et kol ha'dvarim ha'eleh. Moses finished reading all these words, et kol Yisrael, to the people of Israel, vayomer alehem, simu levavachem, lachol hadvarim, asher anochi moed bachem, hayom. He said, pay attention, pay heed to all these words that I have shared with you today. HaTorah hazot, this lesson, this teaching, ki lo davar rek hu mikem, ki hu chayecham, ve'udavar hazeh, ta'arichu yamim al haaretz asher ata over et hayarden shama l'rishteh. Not only is it important, these words will actually lengthen your days and add to your prosperity in the land that you are coming to inherit. The blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu tuchat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. We give thanks for the Torah. The Torah has many miracles that we read about, especially at this time of year and the high holidays. And one of the greatest miracles, of course, is the crossing of the Red Sea. However, I don't consider that to be the greatest miracle of all. I consider the fact that there is a sea, that there's water on this planet. That, to me, is a miracle. You take two different gases, hydrogen, oxygen, and they're gases, and then you put them together and they form something completely, utterly different. Life-giving water. Aha! That's a miracle. The story of the crossing of the sea, I don't think it really happened, and even if it did,
the fact that there is water, to me, that's the greater miracle. But you could also look at it this way. They crossed the Red Sea. But sometimes people want to see red. They get angry. They get upset. But we can cross over. We can walk right through that situation that could have got us angry. And we can be calm and cool and collected and loving and not let it penetrate us. That's the real miracle that we seek on Shabbat Shuvah, and we seek through the high holidays. The ability to be able to get into a situation which could get us angry and instead cross over and not bother getting angry. You know who did that really, really well? That was Abraham. Do you know why? He was a nomad. That means no matter what happens, he believed no mad. Nothing could get him mad. There was no mad bone in his body. That is something that we can learn from him. He had a big tent. He welcomed everybody, and he was very pleasant and peaceful. Even Sodom and Gomorrah, the two most evil, wicked cities on earth. He would have been excused if when God said, I'm going to destroy these cities, he said, good riddance. He couldn't even be mad at them. He said to God, let me save them. It's not right to destroy the city. Let me try to find 50 good people. And then he bargained with them, 40, 30, 20, finally down to 10, which is the source of the minion. If you find 10 good people, you could save a city. But alas, there weren't 10 good people. But the lesson is there. To be a Jew means to have no mad bone in our body. Does that mean that we're passive and weak and meek and when confronting evil? Absolutely not. We stand up to evil. We confront evil, but we don't get mad. We just try to right the situation, and we don't harbor anger. We try to understand why people act this way. We confront them. We challenge them. We fight them. But we basically fight the behavior. We don't get mad at people. Abraham did this so well. He had a big tent, and in that tent, he also had the intent to do well. To a great extent, he shared his love, and he was able to see the portents of the future by embracing a concept of a power that was transcendent over his tribe or his nation and that encompassed everything. And because of that, because of his intent and extent and portent, he was content. He was happy. And if we follow him, we can also be happy. We have now experienced part of the high holidays. We'll be experiencing the rest of it pretty soon. And the main part of the high holidays is to cross over, as the Jews did allegorically through the Red Sea, to cross over from where we are to where we could be, to the type of person that might respond with anger, to the type of person that might respond with love. We need that today more than ever. As Jews are divided, as people are fighting with each other, we need to be able to be cool and calm and fight hard for what we believe, but to love other people even if they have a view different from ours. On these days of awe, I hope that we will recognize that we have within us awesome capabilities, awesome potential. And I hope that we will go through this experience not with an easy fast, but a meaningful fast, so that we can experience the most awesome year yet. As we went through this pandemic, at Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor, we now have services that are better than anything before. And I hope in the same way we'll build back better after this pandemic and emerge from this better than ever before with a truly awesome year in which we cross over from despair to hope, and from anger to love, from conflict to shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
The olive trees that stand in silence upon the hills of time, the gentle breezes of the valley as bells of evening chime. I hear the sounding of the shofar, which calls the world to prayer. The shepherd pauses in the של זהב, ושני הושט ושל אור, עלו לכבוד שירייך, אני כינור ירושלים של זהב, ושני הושט ושל אור, עלו לכבוד שירייך, אני
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
As we read the Kaddish on this Shabbat Shuvah, the Sabbath of Return, let us return to yesteryear. Remember the beautiful times we shared with our parents, our dear ones, and our loved ones. And let us be inspired and filled with joy as we remember all the love that they shared with us and all the love that we still have to transmit to others as we read the Kaddish. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemer Rabba, v'yomad yifrach ruseh v'yomlich ma'chuseh, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedu chol beis Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv imru amen. Yehi shemer Rabba mivorach le'olam omei omaya, yisborach v'yistabach v'yispoar v'yischoma v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yishalev v'yishalal shemer kedusha b'rechu, le'elam en kol berchasa v'shirasa, tushbech chasa v'nechamasa, dam yachon b'yoma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom Rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and comfort bring peace and comfort to all who mourn. And let us say, Amen. We have people listening to the Shabbat celebration who speak different languages. So if you speak Italian, you know if you want to say very good, you say molto bene. And bene is related to beneficent, or bueno in Spanish. Bene, benediction, means a good word. And we always end with a good word. Why is that? Because words have power. And if we fill our minds with good words and good ideas and good dreams of the future, that has power. It works. If we fill our minds with negativity, that also has its effect. So let us conclude with a benediction, a good word, so that we can be motivated to try to fulfill all of our greatest hopes and dreams that we celebrate on Shabbat. Yivorecha Adonai v'yishmorecha. May you be blessed. May you be preserved with good health. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichoneka. Literally, may the face of God shine upon you. Or in another way of thinking, may love and goodness and joy shine upon you and therefore be emanating from you always. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Literally, may God lift up his face over you and grant you peace. In other words, may you be lifted up to the highest level that you can achieve. And the highest level that we know of in Judaism is to be a source of peace and blessing. Amen.
Welcome one and all to L'Dor Va-Dor Shabbat Shuvah service. Shabbat Shalom, Lashana Tova. It is truly awesome that you've chosen to be with us during these days of awe. Thank you to Rabbi Barry, our musical team of Rose Lopater and Andy Susman, and especially to Arnie Pickles for producing these lovely services for us to enjoy. We're grateful to Linda Silva and Rabbi Martin Wiesel for sponsoring our Shabbat this evening. Todah Rabbah. We're delighted to have so many wonderful viewers for our Rosh Hashanah services, and we invite you to join with us for our beautiful, inspiring, and meaningful Yom Kippur services this weekend from the safety of your home. We will have our Kol Nidre service on Sunday evening, September 27th. Our Yom Kippur morning service will be on Monday, September 28th, followed by our Zoom and Shmooze interactive program at noon, where we can see and greet one another for the holiday. We'll also have our annual Yom Kippur Interfaith Dialogue with guest leaders of many faiths, along with Rabbi Barry, on Zoom Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. We will end the holiday of Yom Kippur for this year with our very moving Yizkor Memorial and concluding services in the later afternoon. All links for these services and programs will be on our website, ledorvador.org, by Sunday morning, available to one and all, complimentary. We welcome all to watch and share these links with your family and your friends. We're so happy to have you with us tonight for the Sabbath of Return, Shabbat Shuvah, where each of us can create a new view and a new you for the new year. Join with L'Dor Va-Dor as we embark on this exciting journey to build the Judaism that will fit all today and will continue to evolve and grow for the future. We know that you will enjoy what we have to offer, and we invite you to tune in and learn more about Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor and Rabbi Barry Silver at our Yom Kippur services. We thank those who have contributed for our L'Dor Va-Dor Book of Remembrance this year, and we invite you to view, download, or print this beautiful book honoring and remembering our loved ones. It'll be on our website, ledorvador.org. Within the book are Yizkor memorial prayers and even a prayer to recite prior to lighting memorial candles before Yom Kippur or before the yard sites of your loved ones. L'Dor Va-Dor may be a small congregation, but we're one that's making a big impact on the extended community due to the pandemic times we're living in and the availability of the internet to broadcast our message far and wide. We offer a unique brand of Judaism, one that uses intellect, reason, science, and knowledge for truer rather than literal interpretations. We need you more than ever now to join with us and grow with us. Visit our website at ledorvador.org and sign up for our email newsletter, The Voice, and be in the know with L'Dor Va-Dor. Wishing you a spectacular Shabbat, an awesome new year, one filled with love, laughter, and the best life has to offer. Shabbat Shalom and Lashana Tova from Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor with love.
No,